Picture this. You're standing in a crowded bar, the kind where the air hums with laughter, clinking glasses, and the pulse of a Friday night. You've got your act together, a sharp mind, a solid job, a heart that's taken some hits but still beats strong. You're the guy who thinks before he speaks, who's read enough to know the world's not black and white, who's worked hard to be better than average. But across the room, there's this dude, loud, brash, probably couldn't spell philosophy if you bet him $5,000, yet every eye's on him. He's cracking dumb jokes, strutting like he owns the place. And the woman you've been eyeing, she's laughing, leaning into him, caught in his orbit. You're left standing there, invisible, wondering what the hell just happened. This isn't just a bad night, it's a pattern, and it burns. Why do the good guys, the smart guys, the deep guys keep losing to the idiots? Let's rip the veil off. Face the brutal truth. It's not about who you are. It's about what you project. If you want to stop being a ghost in your own life, you need to understand the game of power and attraction. Let's talk about the pain because you've felt it deeply. You're the guy who's done the work. You've read the self-help books, maybe even cracked open a philosophy text or two. You've built a life with meaning, goals, depth, purpose. You're not perfect, but you're damn sure trying to be a good man. Yet time and again, you watch women, smart, high-value women, gravitate toward the guy who's all flash and no substance. He's not smarter than you. He's not kinder. Half the time, he's barely paying attention to her. But she's drawn to him like a moth to a flame. You've seen it at bars, at work, at parties. The guy with the loud laugh and the empty head walks away with her number. You're left with nothing but your thoughts and a quiet rage. It's not just rejection, it's erasure. You're invisible not because you lack worth, but because you're not playing the game the world demands. That stings deeper than any single loss. It's the slow bleed of being unseen in a world that should reward your substance. So what's the truth behind this pain? Why does the idiot win? It comes down to one word: power. Not the kind you earn through hard work or deep thought. The kind you perform. Michel Foucault, the French philosopher who dissected how society really works, nailed it in Discipline and Punish. He said power isn't something you hold, it's something you do. It's not a crown you wear, it's a stage you command. The loudmouth at the bar. He's not powerful because he's deep or deserving. He's powerful because he acts like he is. He doesn't question the spotlight. He steps into it. Foucault warned us about the gaze, that invisible force that makes you feel watched, judged, measured. You know it well. It's why you hesitate before you approach her, why you rehearse your words, why you second-guess your worth. You're trapped in a cycle of self-surveillance, analyzing every move before you make it. Meanwhile, the idiot, he's free, not because he's brave, because he's blind to the cage you're stuck in. He doesn't see the walls, so he walks through them. And women, they're not drawn to his stupidity. They're drawn to his certainty. In a world that's always judging, his lack of self-doubt feels like strength. Let's paint a real story to make this hit home. Imagine you're at a rooftop bar in Chicago, the skyline's glittering like a promise. You're dressed sharp, mind sharper, ready to connect. Across the room, there's a woman, confident, gorgeous, the kind who could hold her own in a boardroom or a dive bar. You're working up the courage, crafting the perfect opener, something witty but not try hard. You're almost ready when he walks in, some dude in a loud shirt, maybe a chain necklace, throwing out lines that sound like they came from a bad 1990s rom-com. He's not smoother than you, not better looking, definitely not richer. But he's loud, he's bold. He walks up to her like he's entitled to her time, slings a cheesy line, and she laughs. Not because it's clever, because he's not afraid to fail. By the end of the night, they're dancing, her hands on his arm. You're still nursing your whiskey, wondering why your depth didn't even get you a glance. Sound familiar? That's the game. And it's not just one night, it's a pattern that repeats. In bars, on dating apps, at networking events, everywhere. Why does this happen? Let's dig deeper into the truth. Social psychology backs it up. A study from 2018 in Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin found that women often prioritize social presence, how a man carries himself over traits like intelligence or empathy in initial attraction. Why confidence signals power. Power feels safe, even if it's a mirage. The idiot's got no inner world to wrestle with, so he projects strength without a flicker of doubt. He's not distracted by self-analysis. He moves with raw immediacy. Foucault called this discursive dominance, the ability to control the narrative without even trying. The fool doesn't write a script. His presence is the script. You're drafting monologues in your head, but they never make it out of your mouth. In that gap between thought and action, she's already gone. Now let's face the consequences of staying on this path. If you keep playing the good guy game, waiting for your virtues to be noticed, hoping she'll see your worth, you'll stay invisible. You'll watch the loudmouths, the players, the clowns take the stage, while you're stuck in the shadows. It's not just about losing her, it's about losing yourself. The longer you stay in your head, the more you'll feel like a ghost in your own life, unseen, unheard, unchosen. That loneliness. It's a slow poison. It erodes your confidence, your drive, your sense of who you are. You'll start to resent women, telling yourself they're shallow, that they don't get you, that the world's unfair. But that's a cop-out. The world isn't unfair. It's built this way. Foucault said society rewards those who master its norms, not those who question them. The idiot doesn't resist the game. He plays it. The longer you sit on the sidelines, the more you'll feel like you're betraying your own potential. You'll wake up one day, 40, 50, 60, wondering where your fire went, why you let the world pass you by. But here's where the wake-up call hits. And it's time to flip the script. You don't have to become the idiot to win. You don't have to ditch your depth or trade your brain for bravado. But you do have to stop waiting for permission. Foucault said power is exercised, not possessed. So exercise it. Stop overthinking. Start acting. Walk into the room like you belong there. Speak like your words matter. Touch like you're not afraid of her response. Your intelligence is your edge, but only if you wield it like a blade, not a shield. Let's break this down into steps to make it real. First, master the nothing bothers me mindset. To own your emotions, you need to start by letting go of the need to be perfect. The idiot wins because he doesn't care about failing. You're paralyzed by the fear of saying the wrong thing, so train yourself to act despite the fear. Next time you're out, don't script the perfect line. Just say something, anything. Let it be messy. Let it crash and burn. A study from 2020 in evolutionary psychology showed that men who take social risks, approaching women, leading conversations, being bold, get more positive responses, even if their approach isn't flawless. Why? Action creates momentum. Momentum creates presence. Presence is power. Start small. Make eye contact with a stranger and hold it. Say hi to the woman in line at the coffee shop. Flirt without needing a response. Every step builds the muscle of boldness. Second, stop hiding your desire. The good guy trap is thinking desire makes you weak or creepy. It doesn't. Desire expressed with confidence is magnetic. Foucault said, power produces reality. It shapes what people feel and see. When you hide your attraction, you're handing your power away. The idiot. He doesn't ask if it's okay to want her. He just does. Look at how he moves. He touches her arm, leans in, teases without apology. He's not calculating consent forms in his head. He's reading her signals and acting. You can do the same without being a jerk. Be direct. Tell her she's beautiful, not as a question, but as a statement. If she pulls back, you adjust. But don't let the fear of what if stop you from trying. Women don't want a man who's perfect. They want a man who's present. Third, rewrite the norms you've internalized. Foucault's big insight was that we're shaped by biopower, the invisible rules that control how we act, speak, even feel. You've been taught to be polite, careful, humble. Those are chains, not virtues. The idiot doesn't obey these scripts, not because he's a rebel, because he doesn't know they exist. He lives outside the system that's tamed you. So unlearn it. Stop apologizing for taking up space. Stop waiting for her to signal it's okay to approach. You don't need a green light to be a man. Walk up. Start the conversation. Lead the moment. You're not breaking rules, you're rewriting them. Fourth, understand that attraction isn't logical, it's emotional. Women don't choose based on your resume, your job, your degree, your moral compass. They choose based on how you make them feel. The idiot makes her feel alive, not because he's better, because he's immediate. He's not trying to prove he's worthy. He assumes it. You can do that too. Next time you're talking to a woman, focus on the vibe, not the words. Tease her lightly. Make her laugh. Let her feel your energy, not your anxiety. A study from 2019 in Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that emotional responsiveness, how you make someone feel in the moment, outweighs intellectual compatibility in early attraction. Your depth is your strength, but only if you translate it into connection. Fifth, embrace failure as fuel. The idiot doesn't win every time. Nobody does, but he tries more, so he wins more. You're so afraid of striking out that you never swing. That's the real loss. Every rejection is a lesson, not a verdict. The guy who gets rejected 10 times learns 10 times more than the guy who never tries. So approach her. Flirt. Fail. Laugh it off. Each attempt makes you sharper, bolder, more magnetic. Failure isn't the opposite of success, it's the path to it. Sixth, stop worshiping fairness. The world doesn't reward the best man. It rewards the man who shows up. Foucault said, "Power is tolerable only on condition that it masks a substantial part of itself." The idiot's power works because it doesn't look like effort. His confidence feels real because he's not trying to prove anything. You, on the other hand, are building a case for why you're worthy. Stop. You don't need to earn her. She's not a prize. You're not a contestant. Act like you belong in her world, and she'll start to believe it too. Seventh, own your physicality. Power isn't just mental, it's embodied. The idiot takes up space. He stands tall, moves deliberately, touches without hesitation. You don't need to be a gym bro or a model, but you do need to inhabit your body like it's yours. Stand straight, look her in the eye, touch her arm when you laugh. Physical presence signals confidence. Confidence signals power. A study from 2021 in body language showed that nonverbal cues like posture and touch are critical in signaling dominance and attraction. You're not a brain floating in a jar. You're a man. Act like it. Eighth, stop resisting the game. You've been told that playing the social game, flirting, teasing, leading, is shallow or manipulative. That's another trap. Foucault said, "Where there is power, there is resistance. But resistance doesn't win. It isolates." The idiot doesn't fight the game. He masters it. He doesn't ask if small talk is meaningless. He owns the room with it. You don't have to become a player, but you do have to play. Flirt because it's fun, not because you're keeping score. Lead because it feels good, not because you need to win. The game isn't the enemy. It's the arena where attraction happens. Ninth, let go of the moral high ground. You've convinced yourself that staying out of the game makes you noble, that your depth sets you above the idiots. It doesn't. It just keeps you lonely. Foucault warned that the soul can be a prison for the body. Your mind, your brilliance, your introspection is caging you. You've intellectualized your desire so much that you've forgotten how to feel it. Stop trying to convince her you're worthy. She doesn't want to be convinced. She wants to be consumed. Act on your desire, not as a plea, but as a statement. Want her unapologetically. Move toward her without a script. Your depth is useless if it stays locked in your head. 10th, and this is the final blow. Become fluent in immediacy. The idiot's superpower isn't his brain, it's his action. He doesn't wait for the perfect moment. He makes the moment. You're waiting for a sign, a signal, a guarantee. There is none. Attraction lives in the now. The woman you want isn't choosing based on who you'll be in 10 years. She's choosing based on who you are in this moment. So be that man. Step into the arena. Speak without rehearsing. Touch without calculating. Love without negotiating. Power isn't found in knowing more. It's found in doing more, without begging the world to validate your reasons. This is the wake-up call. You're not invisible because you lack worth. You're invisible because you're not showing up. The world doesn't reward the guy who knows the most. It rewards the guy who moves the most. So move. Step into the spotlight. Claim your space. You don't need to become the idiot, but you do need to borrow his fire. Your intelligence, your depth, your heart. They're weapons, not ornaments. Use them. Stop waiting for her to see you. Make her feel you. If this hit you where it hurts good, let it wake you up. Like, share, subscribe. And if you're ready to stop being a ghost, check the link below for more. Because nobody's coming to save you. You've got to save yourself. Step into the game, brother. The stage is waiting.